Okay, so this is the Nightingale planning session. This is the afternoon session of that. So from a logistics standpoint, please mute your line. Call is being recorded. In terms of agenda, we want to take a look at where the Magpie release is at, look at the new release schedule, goals for the planning session, the objectives for this release, as well as the upcoming schedule. And then we'll do a quick pass through the contributor sides. So from a Magpie release standpoint, where we're currently at is there were some changes. We moved some of the servers around, so test cells were offline for a bit. Currently, they're back online. So we have an RC2 that was created today. Testing will take a couple of days, and then a possible release by Friday pending QA approval. We're moving towards a new release schedule. So ONOS is moving to 4-month releases. These will occur in mid-April, mid-August, and mid-December. This is to better align with Cord so that we can make sure that we're integrating the latest versions of ONOS into Cord, and it will also make planning a bit more efficient between the two. So Cord is moving to mid-February, mid-June, and mid-October releases. So for example, the mid-June release should be consuming this version of ONOS. In terms of goals, for this planning session, we want to make sure that we're going over Magpie deliverables, what the community plans to do for Nightingale, and O releases. So the Nightingale releases in April, the O releases in August, and we just want to make sure people understand what's coming up in the release. So in terms of release objectives, for dynamic configuration, we're targeting an ONS demo that will be in March 2018. This demo will exhibit configuration via RESTconf, device synchronization, and support for transactions and rollback of a single device. With ISSU, in the current release, there was implementation of the upgrade protocol, so Nightingale will focus on stabilizing this protocol and supporting independent application upgrades. We're also looking at some additional performance improvements around the flow rules and intents. On the P4 side, we're targeting a MWC demo in the February 2018 timeframe. This is to support VNF offloading of the M-Cord serving and packet gateway user plane functionality. We'll also be adding GNMI support to allow configuration of ports and getting updates for that. We're looking at addressing some challenges that are involved with deploying ONOS in a container orchestration system. This is to help support Cord and Volt deployments. And then gRPC support on that side, we want to focus on enabling Volt applications to be deployed in containers, to have them be able to scale separately from ONOS. And this is the part that is different for the morning session. We took a look at the build packaging and release requirements and decided to add a couple of things to make development and release life a bit easier. So push button release via Jenkins job, as well as address some buck deficiencies that could involve updating buck, moving from buck to Bazel, or possibly even back to Maven. We have a few things in the backlog that we'll look at in the future. Some of that would be around code-based disaggregation, as well as disaggregating the runtime moving apps out of Craft. From a Nightingale schedule standpoint, because of the longer release window, we are moving from essentially 4 sprint releases to 6 sprints. So the first sprint will start tomorrow. And our release is targeting a mid-April with what you've noted is the various demos that we're targeting. Okay, good enough, or do you guys want to go through the rest of it?
I think none of this stuff has changed from the morning session, right? The details.
No, I think where things may have changed is there's been some updates where we're looking at incremental support for 1.1 features and then bug fixes and code quality enhancements for that Aihua had updated. We also have updates from Stephen. So from a Magpie accomplishment standpoint, an application view filter was added, as well as detailed panels for pores, meters, and groups, and further enhancements to topology too. So what he's targeting in the Nightingale release is to get the region-aware topology, so topology to essentially on par with classic view. And then in terms of localization, in Magpie, there's been support for Spanish, French, Italian, Korean, Turkish, simplified and traditional Chinese, and Greek is ongoing. What they are looking for is support around internationalization. So there's a request to have developer support from the community to enable that to happen. In terms of Virtualization Brigade, updates in the next release to OF agent, as well as completion of the external connectivity functionality. And then snapshotting and embedding in O. No updates to the teaching brigade. In terms of security analysis, Stefano confirmed that the first report is out. They are working on a second report that includes netconf southbound tests, and then considering a performance comparison with ODL. And so in terms of time frame, Nightingale will have the second report, and then O would focus on the ONOS versus ODL comparison. They would like to have 4+ servers to be able to run remote tests on. So I don't know, Sajitra, if you can work with them and see what is needed there?
Yeah, I can, but then we haven't got any requests from them about this.
Okay.
Maybe the next meeting I can talk to Stefano on that.
Okay, yeah, because this was his update to the slide, so.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take it over.
Okay. And then Q is same. Utah has updated this to clarify the additional support for packet optical, and of course the futures work is essentially being deferred to January, but part of it is supporting TAPI, OpenConfig, OpenROTM, device synchronizer, transaction rollback. I think the request here is, of course, for multiple device, and I think this is where we have the disconnect of Nightingale. I think we're opportunistically looking at multiple device, right? And what we're focusing on is single device rollback. And so
I don't think at this moment, I think we just need to sketch out how it will look like. I don't think we expect that to be delivered as of the first phase of ODT, it just need to be scoped that this kind of interaction is likely to happen. So on the next release or later, we need to have the config to be capable of doing this kind of things. So clarifying the requirement will be probably what it actually will be.
Okay, because from a demo standpoint, I think minimally we want transactions and rollback for a single device.
I'm not completely sure, but we need to figure out the details. I'm not pretty sure if that the transactional part should be the primary focus, or what we actually need is the batch write aspect of mixing multiple kind of write. So we need to define what exactly do we need. But we just need a transactional API support, or we actually need transactional commit and rollback. That's still TBD right now.
Right. Also, there is a north-south concerns between the device and the system, and those are going to be the subject of the demonstration. And then there's east-west concerns for synchronizing the state of the repository that's going to be somewhat secondary and potentially future releases, right?
Yeah, so I think we need to work through this and make sure that we're aligned on expectations between the ODTN efforts and dynamic config.
Right.
So from a demo standpoint, we're minimally scoping out at least transactions and rollback for a single device.
Yes.
Sort of related note, I've heard from Dimitri or somebody that the distributed primitive side is working on transactional doc tree. So we probably have some feedback how that API should look like. So if there was some kind of design discussion already going on the clustering side, we probably need to coordinate there also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Nightingale Sprint 1 will start tomorrow. Planning is at 2. And then a couple of things that we want to highlight here is we ran into some stability issues with the Magpie release. So a couple of things we want to start doing is bug scrubs per sprint, having the QA team identify the must fixes for the sprint, and those will be folded into sprint planning work, and then making sure that we hold to the feature freeze more strictly so that we ensure the stability of that branch. And then the plan here is, so we did the ECMP demo in the morning that demonstrated mastership, and then the ISSG demo, Jordan is going to record and post on YouTube. Any questions or comments? If not, I think we're done. Jono,
Great.
any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I'll stop the recording. I think, Henry, you're also on. Any questions?
Hi, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think what we're going to do is we'll discuss more fully the demo that will be done by Dynamic Config at the meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. I think I'm going to stop the recording, and I think we're done for this session.
Great. Thank you, Ian.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.